Hello everyone, I am Xerix Lord Sentinel, and welcome back to Century of Economy. When we left off, the Americans were preparing for combat with the Spanish, the French were plotting, and the pirates were exterminating the cursed and getting rich doing it. Now, on to the action. The Corazon Dorado brings home the payout from the Relics quest, giving them a nice bonus. The Spanish launched the Concepcion with Fernando Sanchez and a helmsman, and the Treasure Island with her linked crew, Duke Lars, and Yashaji Angria at the lagoon. Mavra and his steed are among the last of the cursed, and make a last-ditch attempt to bring in some gold to stave off elimination, loading some metals from the Archway Island. The Justice makes contact with the New Orleans. The Orleans then explores the ship, triggering her ability and sending both ships back to the American home island. The Mississippi makes one last desperate attempt to gather lumber before the Spanish take over the island. The Kettering brings the Nautilus to the surface and eliminates the rear segment from the sub. The Strife then engages, eliminating yet another segment. The Carolina manages to ram a mast off of the Matthias Vespero, heedless of the Rampage lurking behind. The rest of the American ships engage the Spanish. The primary targets are the Acorazado and the Santa Ana. However, the first salvos of cannon fire are ineffective. The Providence and Harlequin attempt to damage the Resolution by ramming, but fail. The Cheyenne sails south, toward the whirlpools around the portal. The Frontier sails broadside to the Bouchouan. The French launch the Wasp from the trading port on the Bone Temple Island. The Darkhawk II gets her bow cannons in range and eliminates a segment from Mavra's steed. The Harbinger sails in and delivers the kill. The Stormstalker rams the Serpent's Fang, but doesn't eliminate a mast. The El Dorado is called in and delivers a successful ram, eliminating the last mast from the Fang. The Bouchouan dismasts the Frontier easily, leaving her derelict hulk for the Philadelphia. The El Dorado is given a second action, explores the Serpent's Fang, and captures the ship for the pirates. Both ships reappear at the pirate home island. The pirates end their turn by launching Misfortune's Keep and Scarlet Star at Erebor. The Serviente hits the Providence with her exploding shot, and Firepot Specialist, giving her 2 fire masts. The rest of the Spanish forces begin to advance. The Resolution sails broadside and eliminates the rest of the Providence's masts with a combination of cannons and firepots. The Rampage moves into position while the Santa Ana succeeds with her built-in extra action, managing to eliminate a mast from the Strife. The Spanish cavalry arrives. The Carolina is hit with firepots from both the Resolution and La Aguila. The Matthias Vespero hits the Strife with a firepot and eliminates an additional mast from the ship. The Carolina is sunk between the guns of the Resolution and Aguila. The Santa Ana's second action saw her take a mast off of the Enterprise and hit the gemstone with a firepot. The Acorazado lurches forward and takes the gemstone down to a single mast standing. The Neptuno upgrades Sharktooth Island with a military port, giving any wounded Spanish ships a place to repair, like the Santo Colombo. The Aguila brings her cannons to bear, eliminating 2 additional masts from the Enterprise, leaving the USS Pearl and USS Kettering as the only healthy ships available to combat the Spanish. At the end of their turn, the Spanish launch the Granada with a captain, helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, firepot specialist, and oarsman, and El Paso with a captain, helmsman, cannoneer, and oarsman from the Lagoon Island. The Philadelphia makes contact with the Frontier. The Kettering slides past the Acorazado and brings her cannons to bear on the Profeta de la Fortuna, eliminating first one and then another mast from the ship. The Pearl crosses the bow of the Acorazado, but fails to do any significant damage to the ship. The fire on the gemstone spreads, engulfing and dooming the ship, unless the Americans can get her home quickly. Against this background, the New Orleans arrives with the Justice, who repairs her first mast. The Vengeance succeeds with her same action twice, and manages to eliminate one mast from the Acorazado. She sails on and attempts to damage the Profeta de la Fortuna. The Vengeance knocks down one mast with cannons, and then another with a successful ram attempt. The ensuing boarding party sees the Profeta lose the town upgrade intended for the lumber island. The Pearl repositions with an extra action and fires on the Acorazado again. Unlike before, however, she is able to eliminate 2 masts from the Spanish warship. The Enterprise uses her actions to return home and put out her various fires. The Providence is consumed by fire, and the Harlequin is unable to eliminate a mast from the Resolution. The Strife attempts to come about and return home, but lacks the necessary speed. The French launch La Ville de Paris with a captain, helmsman, musketeer, firepot specialist, and oarsman from St. Pierre. Storm 5 moves into the lagoon, causing concern for the Spanish. The Voz de Dios knocks a mast off of the Mississippi. The Rampage and Resolution fire off their cannons. The Pearl is set aflame with not 1, but 2 fire masts, and loses her bow mast, while Count Gustav gives the Rampage an additional shoot action to dismast the Kettering. The Kettering is sunk. The Spanish forces are surging forward. In the upper left, the Santa Ana has set the Vengeance aflame. The Cruz de Cristo and Serviente have captured the Justice, with help from Fior on the Nautilus. The Cruz used her S-board to board the Strife and eliminate all of her crew. The San Francisco takes a whirlpool and loses a mast in the process. Sebastian de Alva takes a shore leave to the lagoon proper, leaving the Cantabrian. He is joined by the face-down crew from the Repulsa. The San Leandro has been moved to an external dock of the lagoon. The Spanish end their turn by launching the Trinity with Capitan Santiago Navarro, Sebastian Rojo, a helmsman, cannoneer, gunner, 2 explorers, and an oarsman. El Garant, with linked Pedro and Pablo Vicario, Diego Cesar Olano, a helmsman, cannoneer, and oarsman from the new military port on Sharktooth Island. They also launched La Muerte, with Commandant Roberto Hernandez, El Duque Rafael de Moreno y Rivera, Shayna Diu, a helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, and oarsman from the lagoon. The Perfetta de la Fortuna had explored the lumber island, and the Spanish built Puerto Blanco as a final purchase. They were not pleased with this course, as they had wanted to preserve the island's resource for themselves. However, they felt the Americans gave them no other choice. The Extremadura loses a mast to ram damage from the Bellevue. The Bellevue attempted to board but lost, losing her only crew, Fleet Admiral Captain Stephen Rogers. The Americans debate what to do next, as their options are limited. The Vengeance has both her built-in captain and sim action twice cancelled by the Acorazado and Rampage. Heedless of this, the Vengeance surges forward into the Rampage, attempting to eliminate a mast by ramming, and succeeding. The Philadelphia and Frontier return, with the Frontier unloading the 100 plus gold that the pirates gave to the Americans. The Strife rams the Acorazado, eliminating her next to last mast. The Pearl comes about, attempting to go around the Resolution. The Americans spend almost all of their pirate payout on what could be their last launch. USS Franklin with captain, helmsman, and oarsman. USS Defiant with captain, helmsman, and oarsman. USS Amethyst with captain, helmsman, and oarsman. The Ghostwalker with captain, helmsman, firepot specialist, and oarsman. The French build a town on Kanohi Island. In the background, some of their larger gunships move west, toward the Spanish-American conflict. The French are not happy that the Spanish are taking over territory that the French essentially considered theirs. They launch La Magnifique with Capitaine Adethil, a helmsman, 2 explorers, and 3 oarsmen at their home island. The crewless King Jones and Kalos are the last 2 cursed pieces on the map. The Jones has repaired to full strength, but will be hard-pressed to make any headway against the many pirate ships around the cursed home island. The pirates land several ships at the beach of Voyanui, and have found a ton of chests buried there. At the end of their turn, the pirates launch a bevy of ships from the Dead Man's Point. Executioner, Cursed Blade, Windjammer, Black Cat, Treasure, Black Arrow, Crescent Rose, and Coral. An iceberg hits the Notre Dame, eliminating a mast. 4 turns have elapsed, and new resource values were needed. The dice were rolled, with a 5 coming up for value and a 1 coming up for duration. the Matthias Vespero sinks the Strife. The Santa Ana gets into position and sinks the Gemstone. The Cruz de Cristo sails starboard to the Amethyst and S-boards, winning the boarding party easily, allowing the Inquisitor to eliminate all of her crew. The Resolution sinks the Harlequin. In the golden hour, the Rampage sinks the Vengeance. A wide shot of the Spanish-American action. The Spanish have established a strong presence, with some of their best ships already in the theater, and even more on the way. To the right, the Cristobal leads a formation of ships that includes the hired New Dynasty, El Garante, and the Trinity. From the north looking south, the Americans are a small dot in a sea of Spanish ships. The San Pedro emerges from her whirlpool in Voyanui Bay, with her sights set on the beach. Using her extended range, the King Jones takes a mast off of the Harbinger. The Amethyst opens fire, delivering a full broadside to the Cruz de Cristo, eliminating 2 masts. The Franklin crosses the stern of the Voz de Dios, risking the ocean's edge, and eliminates 2 masts from the Voz. The Bellevue rams the Extremadura again, eliminating another mast. As the sun sets, the Defiant is able to eliminate the stern mast from the Resolution. The Ghostwalker crosses the bow of the Resolution, but fails to damage the ship in any way. A sea-level shot of the Defiant broadside to the Resolution. The Pearl lurches forward on oar power and rams the Voz de Dios, but does not eliminate a mast. The Bellevue incredibly manages to put out both of her fires. The Cheyenne returns to the western seas at long last, emerging from the whirlpool at the Bone Temple Island. The New Orleans and Philadelphia make contact with the Justice, but the Americans lack any form of fleet action to recapture the ship. In desperation, the Americans manage to launch 4 more ships. The Albany with captain, helmsman, and oarsman. Thomas Jefferson with captain, helmsman, and oarsman. Stevens with helmsman and oarsman. And the United States with captain, helmsman, and oarsman. The French upgrade the town on Kanohi Island to a trading port. They also upgrade their colony on Paradis de la Mer to level 3. The Notre Dame repairs her missing mast at St. Pierre. The pirates explore Flat Top Island, finding finished goods. The storm inside the lagoon continues to move about, causing much concern among the Spanish. And that wraps up this report. The Cursed are down to their last 2 ships, and are only an all-powerful 6 away from being eliminated. The Americans are mounting as much of a resistance as they can, but they have rapidly burned through all the gold they had, and have no way to gather or run resources with the Spanish blockade of their home island. If you want to see what happens next, make sure you're subscribed. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.